Can you finish it? See if I have anything in my teeth. I need tuna sandwich. Tuna, that's not tuna, that's turkey. Man, my word, what is this Aquarius stuff, man? When I think one thing in my mouth, without any cooperation from my brain, says a different word entirely. Is that it's weird, man. I just said, I know I made the turkey sandwich. I ate half the turkey sandwich. I still said tuna. I did that like 2 times yesterday. What is to become of me?
You're doing just fine.
Thanks, Mom. It's actually been a pretty eventful day. I got my Tulum t-shirt on.
What's Tulum?
Tulum. T-U-L-U-M, Mexico.
Oh,
Tulum. Yep, it says, awakening to a new era. Well, we are full into the new era, I'd say. The world has changed for me and Mom. We don't live on the same planet we did. We don't live on the same planet we did just 2 months ago. Our planet has changed completely. Our whole entire world. We got a taste of the world today. It was actually, let me tell you a little story about the day already. It's only 10:30.
It's only, oh wow.
I know, it feels like I had a whole full day. I'm almost ready for a nap. I gotta find my phone so I can turn it down because the music is... Oh, you want up there, Tuck? Come here, baby. Come here, Tuck. Good boy. Come here. He said, no, Mom. No, Mom. You're not in a mood, Mom. I'm definitely not in a mood, Mom. Sorry, Tuck. All right, let's see here. I love dogs. All right, so story of this day. The thumbnail I took that is on this video is of this morning. I had a much better. I don't got Earth in my chart. I'm sure I got stuff in Earth, but I don't have placements in Earth. Like when you look at my breakdown, I'm like water. I'm air with just enough fire to make steam. Just enough to make a little steam pot, huh, Stanley? So yesterday, moon was in Capricorn. I had a rough landing. That's what I call waking up, when my soul freaking comes back down into my soul sack, and then I get to live this manifestation of this world that I've created for myself and Mom. So this morning I woke up. I had a cup of coffee, and then I got compulsions. I get compulsions. I just like, you got a buddy that you met at the park that lives it took me like 4 minutes to walk there, it's right there. It's like not this road, that way. And in passing, so I called him this morning, my buddy who lives down there. I said, what are you up to? You want to smoke a joint with me? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I said, okay. I said, let me do a couple things and I'll be down. Took longer. It always takes longer. That's why I don't put I'll be there in 10 minutes, because then stuff comes up and then I'm not a person of integrity. I only get mad at myself. So I said, I'll be down a little bit. And then got Mom some toast and stuff like that. Took a couple dogs out. And then I said, I'm going to bring him. I said, I'm going to put some of this coffee. My brother... You like avocado, Stanley? I never knew that about you, my love. I'm going to put some of this Zabar. My brother sent me some coffee for Christmas, some Zabars, and it's really good coffee if you like coffee. I'll drink anything. Hell, I went to AA for freaking 14 years. I'll drink freaking Schwill. It don't matter, man. I'm not really a coffee snob. I'd say, although I am in a coffee, I don't drink as much of it, because caffeine, the older I get, it's affecting me in adverse ways, so it's not worth the consequence of enjoying that flavor. So I'm more decaf. Every now and again, I'll have a cup of coffee if I have a place to go and something to do. Because getting all ramped up with nothing to do in the middle of the winter is drives Mom nuts. She's good at ignoring me. So let me turn on this light though, just cause. So I make my way down, and there's a man I see, and out front in his front yard, and he's sitting in these two chairs, and his dog just beelines toward me, right? And it's not an aggressive dog. I didn't get any feeling of aggression. I wasn't scared by any means. I was welcoming to the dog, but I didn't address the dog because some people are fanatics about their dogs. So I don't address the dog until I address the person and ask the person if it's okay if I address the dog. Because sometimes people have like rescue dogs and service dogs, and you don't address the dog, which I think is weird. But I never live this world for me. I just get to bump around and get to be a part of other people's little worlds, and then I act accordingly, and then I go back to mine where I can be me. Right? So no, I'm pretty much what people see here is pretty much what you get out there. Artie, get off. I'm surly though, so don't ever get it twisted. I can switch on a dime. Especially when people are ill-mannered, I can switch on a dime. So, the dog starts running after me, and the guy is adamantly calling his dog, you know. I say, I just want to let you know that I'm going to address you, and I'm not going to address your dog because I don't know where you are, you know, like. But I want to let you know that I'm okay with what your dog's doing. I have 4. I love animals, and I'm sure he knows my enthusiasm. And he's like, okay. And he was sitting out front, and he wanted to tie his dog up. So we get to talking, and he introduced himself. His name's Michael, and he's a retired psychotherapist. Isn't that interesting?
That is.
And his wife is also in psychoanalogy in some capacity, retired. So, right? So I'm like, he told me that. I said, sir, you and I are going to have a lot of really interesting conversations. You know, in these yellow chairs, no less. Right? And so I was telling him, and so we get to chat, and he's telling me about the cotton, and his property, he lives right there. The picture in the thumbnail is facing east, and it's lined, those cottonwood trees that are in the picture line his property. And I said, they're cottonwoods? He's like, yeah. And I got so excited because I can make myself. I can make my cottonwood salve, ointment.
Oh, yeah.
You could make like a really thick lotion out of it, and it heals, man. I put my heyokanesses. And what people don't understand is I did hear Rife technology. Who was it? Was it Joni Patry? She was talking about the Rife technology and healing through frequencies. Yeah, I make a mean canna cookie, but I make other plant medicine too. And the difference, you know, a medicine is only as good as the practitioner that makes it, that sets the intention, you know. And on my laptop back here, I had to buy this little crappy laptop because I didn't want to put a Windows partition on my app on my Mac and go through all that bullshit. So I just spent a couple $100 on this little HP. Honestly, the program that I got costs more than the laptop, but it's called Biztronics. And what I can do with that is it has just all of these different abnormalities and like they have all these different frequencies that are tied to abnormalities in the human body. you know? So, like, you got cirrhosis of the liver and you want to heal that, freaking, I can make some cookies, set it the frequency to induce, to saturate my ointment or my butter or whatever I choose, and set that intention into the medicine. It just makes it that much more potent, you know? People are only going to get healed, like everyone's saying, these catchphrases that are going around, they're only going to get healed if they believe in the medicine, if they believe that they can be. And I am here to give my testimony almost every day, often, about how people can heal themselves under what seemingly insurmountable circumstances. So I tell people, you know, it's just amazing how we get here, because I just have been praying for God to send people, you know, in my life that we could just have conversations with, and that are old, you know, that have more experience and that have different experience than me that I can learn from, right? Because I can get stuck in my own ways of thinking. Oh, I can. It's easy for me to do. I can. That's why I try so hard not to, and to be so open-minded. Just like I have those tendencies to be OCD and all that stuff. But because I know I have those tendencies, I do what I can to circumvent it, you know? And everything's about balance. Yeah, I don't want to be one of those people that freaking, you go into my bedroom, in my closet is like freaking, you know, everything is like separated an inch apart, and everything has, and it's just, I don't want to be one of those people, because I'm spending all my time creating that environment when there's too much other life to be lived. And I one of the first things I do in the morning, I get up, I put my pants on, I let Artie Pants out. He's my oldest. Hi, Artie Pants. What's the matter, man? He said, no, Mom, I'm not in the mood. You're not in the mood? You're kind of moody. You got some turkey bites? I love it so much, good boy. Artie Pants. Handsome Artie Pants. So, Mom, you're making that weird. And then the sun's coming up, and then I thank God for another morning of meeting the sun and for the opportunity to do so. And that's how I start my day. When I'm present enough to do it, when I'm present enough to be grateful for the gift that I got. Sometimes I'm thinking about all these things that are in a different time and in a different place that have nothing to do with what I'm doing. And then I can get all kinds of emotions and tied up with those things. Hardy Pants. He said, you do it all the time, Mom. I seen it. So, it was nice to meet Michael. Have that conversation with, I said, I'd like to come back and have a talk with you more. And I looked down and he had a book on his seat, and I said, is that a little big book? And he's like, no, it's the Daily Reflections. I said, I have several. I recognized it. I said, I went to meetings I was friended for Bill W. for 14 years. We're still acquaintances. We just don't really see eye to eye on everything anymore. I mean, I have a different, much broader spectrum and idea about what it means to be in service than anybody I ever went to a meeting with. You know, people getting paid, getting money to do something isn't living a life of service. It's being an employee. So welcome to all the Earth employees. HR orientation is in session. So so I went on down and met my buddy. I didn't even mention how the day started. I see how the idea of being in service is seeping in, like, concurrently right now to mainstream. I'll watch mainstream TV shows that are on network TV to see where the mentality of the writers are. It's just another measure of collective consciousness as far as I'm concerned, to see where it's at. And freaking that show, The Connors, that drive from Roseanne, I was like, Ma, they killed her off her own show. That got weird. I mean, that Jackie was talking about today on it as something I saw. I mean, it got weird. It got morbid. Like, their jokes aren't funny. Their hearts, it's like, I don't know what demographic they're going after. I mean, people are just, that's not the heart space of spirit over there. No. But Jackie was talking about, well, don't you, when your daughter grows up, you want her to know you were a hot baby, right? There shouldn't, I believe we live on a multi-universe, experience, that there's universes for every psyche. There's a universe. Everybody's having a different experience of their own universe, and sometimes you meet people and it's like their universes line up and you have the same shared experience. But I will never live on it. I'm not having a shame experience with a ideology or a mentality that creates hot babies. Because sexualizing babies, that's how people like me get raped when they're 10 months old. And people think that stuff's funny, and I'll watch TV and I'm like, I'm having a different experience with these shows that I'm having, because I'm giving mom the narration of the psyche of these people that are creating this stuff. I don't even have Netflix. That's just insane. Then there's like a new CEO and he's like, what, 350 million or some ridiculous amount, man. Just, man, attention diversion, Give somebody that can't change a tire so much money for doing practically nothing. He's just a puppet. It's ridiculous and absurd, and I won't give them my money. And a lot of people do. And that's fine. Because they have their own path. And my path has just been, well, a little bit more rocky than seemingly the general population of the planet. But everybody gets their chance. And, if you get a chance to get older on this life. But it was interesting because there's the other show that I use for measure is called Home Economics. And there was an earthquake in San Francisco, and the guy's just lost a bunch of his money, and he's trying to figure out how to make it back, and he has an epiphany about how he's going to help people cut through red tape. And help people, how he's changed his life, and how he's gonna live a life of service. Does that mean the collective? It's gonna seep out into the collective too? Is that what that means? That people, as much as they open their hearts and with their thoughts and their prayers, are they gonna start opening their wallets too? Is that what's gonna happen? Because the human beings are gonna have to circumvent systems, because systems are designed for the cracks of society to get wider, and that's what's been happening. I got ideas. All day long, I got ideas. All day long. All day, every day, I got ideas of how, to make. But you got these people that are so programmed, they just have stuck in their minds, no, that doesn't happen. No, we can't do that. We can't do that because we've never done that before. It's never been done. So we got to just keep doing all the stuff that hasn't worked, but it's just in the name of we've always done it, so let's just keep doing it. Yeah? Because that's what's gotten us here to the point that we are. We'll see. Or we're just going to go, just the division is going to split. I watched that dude, Cubs can never be kings, And there's some things that people can do in life to measure the content of their character. And one of those things that I've seen, like people I've noticed in life, I'm like, man, they got a really solid character. They've been through stuff and they finished crappy things that they didn't even want to start, but they finished. They followed through. We got too many people on this planet that try something and be like, oh no, it's too hard, I'm not doing it. I don't think those people should be allowed to freaking have babies, but everybody can have a baby and a gun. Yep. Everybody can do it. Babies and guns. Everybody do, Not everybody knows how to use them, either of them, how to participate in life with them, but you got, that's what you can have, is just for being on the planet, right? That dude, Cubs Can't Be Kings, I looked at his Instagram because I use so many different medias to see, is society moving toward ego or is it moving more towards spirit? See, because when you move more towards spirit, you don't need stuff. Stuff is irrelevant. So those people are not on my radar. People that freaking have their little Mercedes and their Audis and all this stuff when you die, you will not take that with you. And who are you going to leave it to? And if you leave it to someone, they'll be like, yeah, they were a douche, but I got this really cool car. You know, I mean, that's what society's run on, is that? Respect? Who is there to respect? I never, I like musicians and I've liked music my whole entire life, and quite frankly, my relationship with it is changing. It's evolving to music. It's different. Yeah. It has sustained me for a number of years. It was my best friend for a number of years. And what the people, they made it dirty. Yeah. They made it dirty. People that maybe they started out to living out of the heart space, but then they all went to the ego. Ain't nobody should have to, to go listen to somebody that you enjoy, nobody should have to pay freaking hundreds and thousands of dollars for that. It's absurd. You're paying for that person's ego. Every time somebody, puts money forth towards, you buy a product at the store, you're paying for somebody's ego. You buy somebody's art. I did this years ago. Somebody want to pay for my ego? Just give me money, and then I'll send you this for trade. That's what the world is. Can you prove that I'm a decent person by giving me work that isn't even based on anything? I live in Taos, New Mexico. There's artists everywhere. Everybody thinks they're a motherfucking artist. No, somebody is paying you because of who you're related to. Talent? Real talent is obscure on this planet now these days. It's obscure. So, took these over to my buddy's house. Found some more. In case people were wondering, what your moms, your dads, your uncles, your cousins, your nephews, your nieces, what they're really doing when they go off to war. This is what we're doing. Not data. These are a bunch of pictures that I took when I was in Operation Iraqi bullshit. See, I was in age. The muscle behind the mission. We were the bitches, man. We're the bitches. We're support. So when people get early release, and everybody, you get to go down to the skeleton crew, and and then go home and just sit and do nothing, or freaking go to the bar and get drunk early, day drink, or do whatever we did when we got cut loose. No, age had to. We were the ones that always stuck behind. We're like comms in different branches, kind of. So, but when I went for Operation Iraqi bullshit, that was taken from the Sun. That's where a lot of GIs stayed and made their per diem and cheated on their wives, sometimes with other men. Gay while away, it's a thing, folks. That was my dorm room in the Air Force. See, military's no different. It's just like the hotel industry. All this, I walked out, I said, all this stuff is to sell, the military, to sell chairs and, refrigerator, and it's like a hotel. It's like living in a hotel, living in and then you go to be a part of a system where you go to other countries and kill people in places we have no business being. And then you celebrate it. It's just weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird? Can't just be me. But see, people will support us saying, no, we're defending freedom. We have to do it to defend, because these are the shit that they have to tell themselves so they can justify getting fat from resting on their laurels and having their big old compounds and their big old houses and traveling from here to there with all the money that they made from being in the military. When they say, oh, military members don't make that, that's a bunch of bullshit. Dude, there's some officers, man, they bring home, they haven't been in for 30, 40 years, and they, they did 20, 25 years, but they'll live another 20 years on top of this, and they bring home $15,000, $20,000 a year, right? All for killing people in places we have no business being. Keep celebrating it. There's karma that comes with this stuff, man. In this country's karma is, it's coming. It's coming. Here, this was the lobby of the Hotel Panorama that I got to stay in. Yeah. This is one of the commanders. No professionalism. Just kicking back. Just chilling, collecting that hazardous duty pay. No professionalism. Yep. They got the best equipment. Americans don't have cracks this side, and this is 2003. So all this is just only perpetuated to a really gross level. This is my buddy. He was my buddy. He's just getting his picture taken. I got to, so I was age, actually at this time, we had enough personnel there that we worked 4 shifts on, 3 off. So I could play tourist. And we did. Because when you're in war, you might as well play tourist. Look at that. This is, hey, John Levi. This is one of those things that you like showing pictures of. How cool that some little freaking autistic freaking person say, oh, you'll never do anything with your life. I actually got to go there and be a part of this stuff. I'm like a less douchey Forrest Gump, because Tom Hanks is a total douche. That was my view from out front in the hotel. That hotel blocked me because I said I got to stay there for Operation Iraqi bullshit, and the employees were really nice to me. So they didn't want to be related to being a part of that. So they blocked me because they couldn't live with themselves. Bartender. Oh, yeah. Yep. So while your homies are all freaking, talk about how hard they worked at work, freaking blowing people up, killing people up. Remember these pictures, man. And you know what's cool about, because I'm all about energy and frequency. I was there 39 days on the island of Crete, just getting energetic imprint, download after download, knowing after knowing after knowing, right there in the Middle East, where oh, this guy, I don't even remember his name. I mean, this is what war is about, man. This is what war is about. I got to play tourist, and I'm not the only one. It wasn't until years later, I really got to play tourist. We actually got freaking we don't, because I was DD or something one night, because I wasn't drinking alcohol, and we had like these guys come out. See, people know who I am. They always, and when you travel with crowds and groups and stuff, there's ways that people look to designate yourself apart from other people, but we were out one night, and it was like some of the crew chiefs and stuff like that. They finally got a day off after, I don't know, it was like 32 days of 12, 13-hour shifts, but then you had to drive like an hour to the base and an hour back, so those made for long days. So some of these guys, when they got the first chance they got to get, that reprieve, that oxygen and that blood, they took it. So I was the DD, and we went out, and these guys, like, they were like military, like, I don't know, they all give themselves these pretentious freaking labels and shit. See, he doesn't. That's Jack. He didn't like. He came over from Turkey. I was supposed to come over from Turkey, and he unfriended me. He don't like me no more because he benefits from them. Because he's a bro. He's a bro. If you benefit and get all kinds of rewards and perks, you're not gonna shit on the fucking entity that gives you all the rewards and perks, right? So that's why they make it so enticing. But see, people didn't learn about being delivered from evil. Being delivered from those who trespassed against us, right? 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 They don't know about that. So all that rich stuff, they took that dangling carrot and they lost their spirit. So now they're not friends with me anymore because, he did 20-something years, fucking retired, then went and go work for another arm of the fucking same swinging dick, and then freaking make another, gazillion of dollars. That's fine. People can make as much money as they. What are they doing with that to help other people? That's all I want to know in life. Everybody I ever come across. Now the guy I met today, he felt good. And we have like some of the same belief systems, and more will be revealed, right? The thing of it is funny is because the guy that I ended up walking over to visit this morning, that's how he got his car, is the man I met just gave it to him. Said, here, we have everything we need. So much I got extra. You don't have what you need. Take what I got that I don't need for you. Gave the man a car. If I had an opportunity these are the things that I would be doing every day just to teach people that you don't need to keep a freaking 6-figure, 7-figure, you don't need to keep it. And in order, if you want to keep it and keep it, you got to give it away. Energy, money is a flow, but it freaking sure does stop right with those people that supposedly have the same belief systems. I cut my hair when I was over there. It was like down to here, down like I could go like this and touch it from my back. I got so much hair. Oh my God, it gives me a headache. But this is when I went real short. People said, "You're butch." I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a fragile flower. I'm so militant, Marge. I don't know. The way people have always seen me, though, it's tripped me out. So, yeah, these are all the bros, making freaking per diem. There's me smoking a cigar in a club on the island of Crete. All Operation Iraqi bullshit. This is next to the hotel. There next to me. I got all north, south, east, west pictures. Here's the infinity pool that they finished when I was there. So it helped when I got to play tourist. Right? This is what war is really about, folks. Come on now. Support those troops. And then they come, so I can come back here and spend $67,000 on those ATVs and shit like that. Right? It's fucking bullshit, dude. In the feds. I can't wait. I can't wait. There's a little racetrack that was next door to the hotel. I never did that. See, and this is on the other side. I know people like to go to like the mainland Greece. So this is that island that, like, when you look for, we're the same picture that millions of people take, because they have one shared perspective. So they all just dip into that. This is the other side of that. Whatever that, that was my view from my hotel room, actually. So. Yep. More of the infinity pool. And then below it, they had cabanas and stuff down here for people to... More pictures. Island of Crete in real life, Life is more about freaking just reading books and talking to people about doing stuff. It's actually about, doing tangible shit. And I've done a lot of really, really tangible shit in my life. That's how I know. I mean, when you have a lot of life experience, it weeds out the people that don't. Because you know what? People that do can recognize other people that do, that have redeemable, remarkable qualities. And people that don't have those redeemable qualities, well, they just don't recognize it in other people. It's as simple as that. That's the sun. They were a contracted hotel. That's where the majority of people stayed for Operation Iraqi bullshit on the island of Crete. I got a lot of really good pictures. So they can never say I was never in the military. Huh? Huh, Jack? Ain't that right? I was right there with ya, huh? I don't want to know you anymore, Marge. Talking bad about the military. Just another bro from Chicago. Just another bro from Chicago. Fucking bros from Chicago. Ooh, this is a cool one. A lot of these pictures I don't remember, so that's cool. It's almost like being there again, huh, Ma?
Yeah.
Hey, Ma, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Are you doing good?
It's been a nice day.
See, this was just like freaking to me, and that's the thing. You travel around enough. What things you start picking up on is like, you know what? This place just looks like that place, looks just like that other place, and looks like the other place I've been before. Yet people keep traveling around to the same to see different places that all look like places that they've been before. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
This looks like freaking Oregon to me. Parts of Oregon, like Lincoln Bay, that area, stuff like that. Yeah. This is Chania, Chania, Chania. So we got 4 days on, 3 days off, but I walk into the little tourist place looking for shops and stuff, because a friend of mine, when I was like 17, 18, 19, she had a pair of these freaking retro hippie leather slippers, and I have been looking, not slippers, sandals, and I have been looking for those ever since. And so I walked into these to see if I could find these little leather slippers or sandals, and I couldn't find them. But I did get to play tourist a little bit. But when we did go to that nightclub, and like these security guards came out of nowhere, and they're like, they look like military. I don't think I looked as much like but the guys I did with, you got the haircut and stuff like that, and he's like, you guys got to get back to your hotel. We're like, you're gonna get seriously reprimanded. It's always about instilling fear, and we're just like, listen here, douche. I built that toolbox. And when I say I built that toolbox, I didn't like assemble the wheels and shit like that. I did all the decals. I put the race the that's a decal on the side. I put all the numbers on, labeled it. And then on the inside, I never took pictures of the inside, damn it. I really wish I would have. But on the inside of the drawers, all the tools, and I made like what, two for sure. Maybe 3. Then I started getting burnt out. But you put like a lighter color underneath, and then a foam, and then a darker color, and then you cut out the shape of the tool, so the tool sits in there. So when you open the drawer, and if there's a tool missing, you'll just see a blank, empty yellow spot, because you can't lose tools on the flight line, because if it gets sucked into an engine, that's more, the number that they designate for that engine is more misappropriation of funds. It's fucking retarded. But here's more Air Force seriousness. But they don't haze, right? Right? This is what they do to you when you leave the shop. This guy was my supervisor. He fucking was trying to evade the cops because he already got 1 DUI. No, that's odd. I take that back. They say don't cause harm to people, and they say it's all in good fun. They're cargo strapping Bryden down there. They tie him down, they put him in the wash rack, and then they dump buckets of ice all over you. Because they like you. That's what they do when they like you. When they don't, what they do is they'll put they got a break room, and they'll put a bunch of food and stuff in like a bowl, like eggs and so it can rot for a few days. Let it get, if it's hot and humid, put it outside, let it get nice and stinky, rancid, and then they dump that on you. That's this. Hey, people. Hey, you're gonna celebrate it. Celebrate it for all of its shit. If you're gonna celebrate, you gotta love something unconditionally. So many people love their military members and all the stuff the military does and all that stuff. You gotta love it for its grossness too. Yep. You gotta love it for its grossness, too. There's another picture of my dorm room. You know, when I was growing up, we were so poor, we didn't have food to eat a lot of days. You know why? Because fucking people are living pretty. That's why. Because they sign their life away. They give away their morals, their freaking standards, you know. Because I'm pretty sure that most people, you know, when I was growing up, I would say, you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't hurt people, you don't hit people, you don't harm people, you don't freaking, you know, rape people, you don't freaking take advantage of people, you don't manipulate people. All these things that just mom and things that you don't do is the world that I'm surrounded by. I said, Mom, they didn't get the same memo, Ma. This is when I went to North Pole, Alaska. Went to go see that other bullshit paradigm, you know. How many people feel bad every year because that stupid holiday because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but they can't. I did it too, man. I did it too. I don't anymore, but I did it too. I sent freaking, my friends in Sacramento, they had little kids, so I sent them stuff from Santa Claus. I perpetuated it too. I just don't do it anymore. See, as we get, those are reindeer. As we get older, we're supposed to cut the stuff away that no longer serves us. And living for ourselves shouldn't serve anybody. Living self-serving shouldn't serve nobody. This is in Alaska. So that was another trip I got to take for Operation Iraqi bullshit. These are just some people that I used to know in Omaha. Santa Claus is a biker. Here's me fishing up in Grove Lake. Back in my drinking days. I was in my 30s already. Maybe I was in my 20s. Still hungover. Margarino! That's what Zim called me. Margarino! That was my buddy. You know? He's in the finance world now. So that's what they do. When they like you. You know? But there's laws that say you can't do that. But, you know, that's the thing about laws and rules, regulations, policies and procedures. They're recommendations. Look, they're all having a good time. That dude right there, Nito, he showed me after when 9/11 happened. That day, he was like, or no, it was around that. Maybe it wasn't that. Anyway. He pulled out his wallet and took out a business card, and he said, and he showed me this business that was on it was like the 97th floor or something like that, or 92nd or something like that floor of one of the towers that freaking we knocked down like a fucking tower of Jenga blocks, just cause it's just to see if we get the dumb people to believe it, and they did, and I used to go fishing a lot more. I used to go fishing a lot. Here's pictures of all the reflection tape. That was in the shop. Oh, here's last one, buddy. That's when he got out. When I got out, nobody did nothing. I mean, we had like a lunch. They had like a going away lunch kind of thing. But nobody did anything like that. People, I mean, because I'm the one that's always talking about, this was me in my off duty. Here's me with some hair before I cut it off. See, I could play a role of being a part of any environment I've ever been. I've never allowed myself to stray too far from my own principles. And I've always carried my principles with me in all these situations that I've had in life. And see, because when people want to slack, they'll want to encourage you to be a slacker. And when people don't, want to just, reap the benefits, they're gonna, that's not what life is about. We gotta get back to working harder. Too many people got soft and lazy. I've been running my mouth too long. Hi, Stacy. I think that's you, Stacy. Oh yeah, you're in school. That's funny. So you're having your own experience with the higher education system. That was a nightmare for me. Always just like, okay, because it was never how I interpreted it. I knew in like writing papers and stuff like that, you get the assignment. I knew if I did the assignment as it is stated, that it wouldn't go well. These are just things I know. So just having to write the assignment to make it so how the teacher likes it enough that they want to give me a good grade. That's what school was for me. I'm glad. Thanks for popping in, Ahmad. I'm glad you're back at school. If that's all you want to do. I just don't think it's worth the cost. Like, not for me. They can all look the same, but if you make where I told my daughter you don't have to go to Paris, just Yale and New Haven. Exactly. And see, and the thing of it is people say, they think about being someplace. Like, I want to go to Paris. I think about what it would be like to be in Paris. They don't like Americans. They like Americans' money. Okay? So, yeah, go to Paris and figure out how. They don't like us, you know? And then maybe if people start thinking a little bit more, they probably figure out reason that other parts of the country don't like us for very good reason. Right? Because this country has turned into a third world country in a lot of parts. In a lot of parts, the parts have been, there's a lot of impoverished areas that have plenty of freaking resources to help people live better, but you got somebody up here that says they aren't worth it. Those people down there aren't worth it. They're different than me. I'm better than me. I get to designate who gets what, and they don't get anything.